Hello, everyone. So, I had to travel during the pandemic. And when I say I had to, I really mean I had to. Let me just make a disclaimer first. I know we're in a worldwide pandemic. I would never make an irresponsible decision to travel for fun at a time like this. That's not even possible. Like, borders are closed and you can only enter a country if you're a citizen or a resident. Moreover, you have to quarantine yourself inside for 2 whole weeks. I would never put my own mental health at risk like that, let alone other people's health, for fun. Like, I really did have to travel for important reasons. So, the reason was actually that I have some passport issues, and the only way to settle them was if I came into Singapore and did all the work here. My family and I did check every other possible way for me to, just complete the work in Australia instead and not have to come home. But unfortunately, due to government reasons, that was not possible. So I had no choice but to come home to Singapore. Anyway, let's move on to why you clicked on to this video. If it wasn't to hate, it was probably to watch my experience. Let's get started!
Yep, this was the saddest thing I had ever seen at an airport. It was so empty. Duty free was closed. I wanted alcohol. Social distancing signs were everywhere, but the bizarre part was on the plane itself. So everyone had masks on. My plane was really empty, less than 10 people probably. Like, look at this. My God, there was only one elderly lady in my section, and we were really far apart for, like, her safety reasons, of course. I expected the bathroom to be a little different for some reason, but it looked the same, including the horrible flush that I freaking hate on airplanes. Anybody else? For blankets, it was really different. You know how they're usually already on the seats when you arrive on the plane? But this time around, they were actually stored in the overhead compartment, and the air stewardesses brought them to us later on. Kind of same for food. They took our orders upon coming on board and brought it to us later on. So there were no bar carts or anything, not even for the drinks or the snacks. We were just given stuff, and yeah, you just took what you got. And finally, I landed in Singapore. Everyone was masked up and even wearing proper like shields on their face. It was pretty bizarre. Um, the massage stations and everything were closed off. There was even thermal imaging going on. Everyone looked really tired. And this, only two flights on the monitor. Like again, duty free closed. And after I had completed customs, I just had to wait here, and I was taken onto a bus. Waiting time was really long. It was about an hour. After I had cleared customs, I was dying at this point after 10 hours of traveling, and I arrived at my hotel.
I am sorry for the abrupt interruption, but I thought it would be important to explain the quarantine procedure for those of you who are not familiar with Singapore's rules at the moment. So basically, permanent residents and citizens flying in have to do a compulsory 14-day isolation in a hotel. And the government has blocked out a bunch of hotels for it, and they also cover the expenses for it, so we don't have to pay. And we do not know which hotel we get until we actually reach the hotel itself. So, yeah, thought that would be important to explain. Hope you enjoyed the corgi. Let's get back to the video.
I could not believe how lucky I had gotten with my hotel. Despite the long waiting time, I think it was completely worth it. Couldn't blame the airport staff anyway because, like, they're probably working day and night. I got to stay at the Ritz-Carlton, and oh my god, I had a view of the entire Marina Bay area. You can't really see it right now because it's nighttime. That was my desk. That was the TV area and the bathroom. Are you guys seeing this? I had a view from my bathroom. This entire marble plated area. There was even a rain shower. I honestly have to give the hats off to the Singapore government. I think they handled quarantine extremely well. I was very comfortable during my entire 2 weeks and no complaints at all. I was very happy. For meals, we could choose from a regular halal or vegetarian menu, and there was a set meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in each. As promised, here is a better view from the window. This is from the nighttime, obviously, and this is from the daytime.
Phew! Ugh. Sorry, I think I'm allergic to good things.
So yeah, for the next few days, I kind of just lazed around, watched Netflix, and interestingly enough, during these 2 weeks, I actually had my final assessments and exams. So since I couldn't go anywhere, it worked out perfect because it forced me to study and do my work. So yeah, I did that. Obviously, I enjoyed the living daylights out of myself because I don't think my broadcast will be affording anything like this anytime soon. So I took full advantage of it. And before I knew it, it was time to go.
I'm ready to go home. Alright, thought I would do a proper outro. This has been one of the strangest things I've had to do in my life. Like right now it makes sense because you're like, yeah, there's a pandemic. I gotta isolate myself in case like I'm carrying it without any symptoms and so that I don't pass it on to anybody else. But we would have never thought of this last year. Like, even like a year from now, if things get better, we're gonna be like, how fucking crazy was that? Like, so tips for isolation if you have to do it too. Number one, bring alcohol. Please drink responsibly, by the way. I feel like I should say that. But yeah, you're gonna get bored 14 days in, you're gonna miss your mates. So when you FaceTime or whatever, just have a couple of drinks on the side, you know? Make it feel more normal so that you don't get so isolated. Number two, have like actual work to do. You can't just Netflix for 14 days. As much as you want to, you're actually gonna start hating it. Like, you will not enjoy just sitting there consuming content for 14 days. So yeah, like actually have like a project to do where you work at it, whether it's like writing an article, making a video like this, like vlogging it so you have something to edit along the way. Have something that like actively engages you. Number three, bring sex toys. You're not gonna get to see a human for 14 days, let alone, you know, get jiggy with them. So get jiggy with yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. It was pretty interesting to film. I feel like this was some original content. I have had this channel for a long time and I made a lot of videos at first, but I stopped because I realized they weren't that original. Like, just get ready with me and whatnot. Every YouTuber has done that. So yeah, I enjoyed this a lot more because it was like a bit more unique and my own experience. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. God, I sound like such a YouTuber. Bye.